I won an officer for a secret and dangerous mission. I won a West Point football player, George C. Marshall. For me, it means that he wants somebody who's tough, someone who's dedicated, someone who's going to get the mission done. And West Point football players epitomize that character.
An Army football player is somebody who understands how to be a teammate, understands what selfless service is, and is willing to pay any price to achieve that mission. That quote symbolizes the performance of Army football players in service to their nation, and it represents the quality of individual who has played Army football for well over 100 years.
Will Huff is my brother. We've sweated on the fields of friendly strife for many years and served together on a battlefield. The night I was wounded, he flew with me all the way from Baghdad to Germany, just talking to me, willing me to live. And that's brotherhood.
Strength and honor, the Brotherhood, leads out in the hallway as you exit to the practice field. Those words to the core of who we are. The Brotherhood represents who we are today, how we plan to act tomorrow, and who we represent in our daily lives that pretty much laid our foundation in Navy football. It goes down to the core who we represent.
The Brotherhood is what we use as our core of why we do everything that we do. Willing to lay our lives on the line for our fellow brother, for our fellow man.
Tradition never graduates, hangs in the team room.
Tradition never graduates. What we do here, how we win, how we celebrate, how we play the game, never ever changes.
Return with honor, hangs in the locker room, right over the door, entry and exit.
Return with honor just simply means that every time you walk out of that door, whether it be to play a game of football, whether it's to go off and serve the nation, it means that you have to do it the right way.
It's the last sign you see that's reminding you that your actions will dictate and influence others of what your organization is going to look like. So better return through those doors, be a good representation of the Brotherhood.
From the moment you step foot on Annapolis campus, the term Beat Army is ingrained in your head.
From the day you enter West Point, you hear Beat Navy. I was never more nervous than stepping out, starting my first Army-Navy game in 1988, at a greater level of angst and nervous. Now, it is different than being in combat, but the magnitude can be overwhelming for those first-timers.
Let's go! Here we go, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Reload!
The magnitude of the game, as I mentioned, can be overwhelming. You know, I would just share that I won my first 3 Army-Navy football games, and I lost my last Army-Navy football game.
15 seconds to go. The ball is at the 15, and it's 17-16 Army. The kick is good.
The Army-Navy game is the game that everyone will remember. It is the wins and losses that you carry with you for the rest of your life.
It's December 7th, 1996.
Absolutely horrible.
40 seconds to play from the 10, but the pass is picked off, and that's the ball game. Army wins with the biggest comeback in the 97-year history of this series.
We lost to Army all 4 of my years here by, I think, a combined total of 10 points, which is painful losses.
Inevitably, you'll, as a Naval Academy graduate, West Point graduate, you'll be asked, what's your win-loss record? And that is your win-loss record for Army-Navy games.
It's how we maybe mark our time, or a badge of honor that you were able to compete against your rivals and be victorious.
The game itself is just a jumping off point for a greater service to country. And when you're out in the thick of things, we depend heavily upon each other to get the job done out in the fleet.
And I can speak firsthand about the modern conflict. There is also a great jointness, and I've been fortunate enough to have been deployed alongside Navy football players, and I am biased to the attributes that a football player and an athlete brings to the modern conflict.
We've been fighting this war on terrorism for the past 15 years, and the military is a small community, and there is no doubt that we're going to cross paths. There's no doubt that we are going to be side by side somewhere on these battlefields.
That day we play, we're fierce competitors. There is a huge sense that after that game, you're on the same team and you are brothers. And essentially, you're almost the same person, just happen to be rivals on those 4 years, on those 4 days. When people see those signs, I hope they know and they're proud of the fact that they have future warriors abiding by that code every day. They feel good that those are the future guardians of this country's values, beliefs, and governances.
I want them to realize that in life you're going to get knocked down, but you have a commitment, you have a responsibility, you have an obligation to get up and fight again and never quit.
I want people to know that the young men and young women who decide to come to the Service Academy come back knowing that the world is much bigger than the individual.
I would like them to reflect on both the previous, those who have sacrificed, paid the ultimate sacrifice, to the contemporary football players, who those that we're going to watch on December 12th out there in the fields of friendly strife, that those seeds are certainly being sown, that upon other days and other fields will bear the fruits of victory. And although that quote comes from General Douglas MacArthur, that is truly appropriate for every individual playing in the Army-Navy game.